Why don't adults have sleepovers? You're finally old enough. And now we never have fun overnight sleepovers? Being old is so individualistic and boring. I crash at my best friend's place all the time. We plan on it. I go over there. We eat some food, game, and watch movies. Then we both sleep on adjacent couches and I go home in the morning. I'm 43 meters. I like my bed. I got stuff to do in the morning. My wife wouldn't like it. I'll probably want to game something with them, but my PC is at home. Etc. Being old is so individualistic and boring. Most often, yeah, because they don't have much time to do sleepovers. I mean, my friends and I are planning to book a house for a 4-day ski trip. So I guess they get fancier. I encouraged my wife to have some of her girlfriends over for a sleepover a couple of weeks ago. I dragged mattresses downstairs and set them up in the big guest bedroom. Cooked barbecue for them and played with the kids upstairs until I put them to bed. They watched rom-coms, passed the bong round, ate barbecue and ice cream and laughed a lot. They all agreed it was the most fun girls' night they've ever had. Heart. I do. I'm in my 50s. And my best friend's husband was out of town. So I went to her house for the night. We went to dinner with a friend, watched a movie, and I slept over in her guest room. We got up this morning and made breakfast and drank coffee out on her porch while watching the birds and the feeder and the deer running in the woods. It was really fun to just hang out and talk. Adults have a better kind of sleepover than kids do. I don't, 'cause my friends all have kids. They wake up really early and loudly and I'd rather sleep in my own bed. Me and my girlfriends still do. 26F. We have been doing it since we were little. Usually it's during wine night or whatever, but we still have sleepovers. We don't? We do? Too drunk to drive? Crash at my place. Haven't seen you in a while and we live an hour away now? Crash at my place. Just don't feel like leaving 'cause we're doing something the next morning? Again. Crash at my place. I have sleepovers with my friends. I don't know what adults you're around, but I totally still do. Me and my friend had a Twilight watch night with snacks and cocktails. It was rad. The only adults I could imagine that don't are those with smaller kids just because they're full-time jobs. I am 22, so don't consider myself a full adult tbh, but I sleep over at friends' places all the time. I prefer it if we plan on getting high or drinking at all. Well, not sure what y'all are doing, but I definitely do. They actually do. We do, and it involves hallucinogens. Me and my nest friend have been having nightly sleepovers for 25 years. Adults do have sleepovers. My partner and I have friends stay occasionally and we'll stay at friends. I would like to, but I have no single friends. They all have lives. My back requires my perfectly curated assortment of memory foam sleeping paraphernalia. Because nighttime is personal time. And I can count on one hand the number of people I'm willing to allow into my sacred nighttime. I do. Heart. Most of my friends are over 40 now. So I think the problem becomes an unwillingness to sleep on the floor. I don't want to be around people even if I call them my friends as much as I want to be alone in my bed on my cell phone texting those same people. I had a sleepover when I was like 25. We watched one of the Futurama movies and slept in the living room. It was fun. My wife and I attend the occasional slumber party. Lots of pajamas and games. They are called one-night stands. We do. That's called vacation. Visit one of your friends who is a few hours away and stay at their house for a few days. Honestly, as I got older, I realized how much I love my own bed and hate sleeping on a couch or unfamiliar place. Not that I never will. And if I'm drinking and don't want to catch an Uber, then for sure I'll crash there. But I'll pick my own bed every time if the opportunity is there. Also not restricted by a bedtime. So if I want to stumble in at 3 a.m., I'm free to do so. Don't need to worry about it being too late to go home or whatever. We do. One of my best friends and I are gonna have one when we can get our schedules synced up. When I still lived close to my best friend, we had sleepovers every month or so. Even once I got married. We do. Who isn't doing this? We do. It's for sex. It's called Netflix and chill. We do. Are you sure you want to know what happens? We will end up wife swapping. We do. We just change the name to crashing on the couch. They do. It's called crashing on the couch because thou can't drive home. Who says we don't? Maybe you're just missing out. Yeah. I stayed over a friend's house and he called his mom to ask if we could nail the single beds on top of each other to make a bunk bed. She screamed down the phone, "I don't give a fuck." Such an angry person. Anyway, there was so much more room for activities. We do. Usually when we're pissed drunk and can't afford an Uber back home. At a certain age, I thought they just got renamed as swingers parties. We do. It's called getting too fucked up and having to crash on the couch. I think adults have sleepovers all the time. When you and your friends rent out an Airbnb for a vacation. I feel like that counts. Or even when you go over a friend's house just to chill. I think it's the fact that we just don't call it sleepovers anymore. You're just chilling with friends. We do. They're called swing parties. They do, but it's called swinging. That's a being married problem, not an adult problem. I occasionally have dates over for sleepovers. You kidding? Grown-ups have a variety of sleepovers. Wish I could be cliché and say my favorite is the one kind with the sexy time, but it's a close second. My favorite was the kind we had in NOLA. In a shaggy old house in the 7th Ward with my girlfriend at the time. We were from elsewhere, so most of our friends lived far away. Occasionally we'd plan a get-together. Everyone would come down to us and we'd do anything and everything for a few days or so. No laws and no masters. You don't have sleepovers? I do. Actually having a tiny get-together at my place soon. Pumpkin carving sleepover party. Roommate and a couple close friends of ours. I have regular sleepovers pretty often though. I always end in sex. They do. It's called swinging. We do. There's apps for it and everything these days. I'm too goddamn old to stay up past 10 p.m. I do one almost every weekend. I go get trashed legally, I'd like to add, and then drive home at sunrise. It's better than when I was 15 by leaps and bounds. Even though we are doing the same shit. I'm 31 now and it is almost every weekend. It would take too long to move all my bedtime shit to a friend's house. Toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, mouthwash, waterpick, earplugs, phone charger, wedge pillow for my legs, slippers, extra pajamas in case I wake up sweaty, my pills, contact cleaner, regular pillow, lotion. It would be exhausting. We're all out here having casual adult sleepovers, why aren't you? We call them booty calls now. Much more fun. They do, it's just that often in adult sleepovers there's full penetration. We often do.